Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am here to communicate some messages from the Divine Masculine, and the energy I'm picking up on is someone is watching you guys from afar. And if they live in the same city as you, they may want to make it seem like they're bumping into you by accident, okay? But the energy here I'm getting is like they're watching you somehow. Okay, they really want the opportunity to bump into you. Maybe you guys have them blocked on social media. You could be off of social media altogether. I feel like this person feels like they're suffocating. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like they can't breathe because they don't know where you're at. They don't know what you're up to or what you're doing. Okay, what's your energy, Divine Feminine? What's your energy regarding your masculine? What is your energy regarding your masculine? Why are they having to watch you from afar? Why are you maybe blocking them off? We have disharmony, triggers, and conflict. Okay, so you could be over a lot of the triggers, a lot of the conflict in this connection, the cycles, the back and forth, and just this overall feeling of disharmony. I've talked a lot about many of the feminines moving forward, and it's a new energy because I feel like the cycles are finished, like there's been a vital lesson here for many of the feminines to learn. And I did talk a little bit about it in the last reading, but it took many of the feminines having the courage to walk away from the way that things were currently going. It took a lot of courage to walk away from that because it did mean an ending. It did mean some kind of like separation, something along those lines, but it took a lot of courage and strength for you to actually follow through. And now that you have, I feel like this person has no access to you. Yeah, strength and empowerment. There you go, Divine Feminine. They have no access to you because I think that you're feeling more empowered through this journey, and that strength that you've acquired from saying no. Like I'm hearing saying no, even though like it might have hurt you to let this go. It might have hurt you to cut off communication with this person, to move forward. I think too, like many of you might have experienced a bit of like that dark night of the soul where it's like, man, it feels like everything you've gone through on this whole twin flame journey, it felt like it was for nothing. This person felt like a fraud, a fake. And I think that part of that reason as well give you guys the courage to really move on and let go. But you're feeling really empowered, and I think that that's why you've completely shut this person off in a way, and they're feeling it. And now they don't want you to shut them out completely. You're avoiding them. You feel a bit of a stalemate energy with this Divine Masculine. They don't like it. They're not used to it. They're used to you feeling this attraction and this chemistry to them. Maybe in the past they thought that you might have been the chaser, or you might have been so obsessed with them, or you always would have been around them, giving off this energy of like, I love you, I'm always going to be here. But you kind of like up and switched on them one day when you came into this sun energy here. Right? Recognizing your self-worth, having strength to do things that, it took from you. It was draining you. I feel like many of them didn't think that you would have ever found that empowerment or strength within yourself. And now that it's here, this avoidance energy, this stalemate energy with you. And when I say stalemate, it's like they're feeling like a little bit insecure too. Like these are masculines who might be questioning, like, am I good enough? Do I look good? Do I still look good? Like, do I still got it? Like, they can't understand how it is you could distance yourself. I feel like with all of the karmic people that they're used to dealing with, they could do X, Y, and Z to these karmic people, and these karmic people would still be there rolling over, bending over backwards for them. But I feel like with you, Divine Feminine, it's like, no, like there's probably like, one too many cycles, and you have that Queen of Swords energy within you, with the gift or the ability to be able to cut that off. And I think that for the first time in this person's life, they're experiencing what that's like. And it's a bit of a soul shock. You're avoiding them, and it hurts, it stings. They're not used to people avoiding them, but you've moved off in a different direction. We also have reflection and projections. Okay, you're projecting all of that insecurity back toward them. Maybe that they might have made you feel at one point. Reflection too, I feel, is such a twin flame card to come up because you're making this person kind of sit down. Like I see somebody really sitting down late at night, like in their car. Like I don't know why I'm getting in their car. They could be in a parking lot near your house, just deeply thinking and contemplating. I see somebody smoking cigarettes. I see empty beer cans in the back seat. I see someone in a lot of deep regret over the way that they mishandled this connection, because again, I think it's really hurting them that you've blocked them off. It's like there's no way of them charming their way back because communication is blocked. This is why they may be watching you from afar. It's the only way that they can feel connected to you. Can we get some truth about how this person is feeling towards the divine feminine in their heart? How is this masculine feeling towards the divine feminine in their heart? Why are they all of a sudden having these breakthroughs? Because they could be healing family issues, okay? Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Maybe because we have the triggers card here coming up. I feel like you walking away somehow, divine feminine, or cutting things off. It felt like a loss of like a real relationship. You know, like I feel like this is a divine masculine who in the past you could have triggered them with your love because like for them that didn't exist, right? Like you could have been a joke to this person, divine feminine. They might have seen you as like a pushover, someone who, you know, was wearing rose-colored glasses. They could have saw you as naive, you know, but this had a lot to do with their projections of themselves. They saw you as naive because it was like, how could you love someone like them? Like, you must be stupid. But they were saying that because they knew they knew how they were, and they think that you didn't know or you couldn't feel it and you were just stupid and naive, right? Like a lot of these masculines came in with a lot of these player ways and running back and forth to karmic situations, and they didn't think that you had that high priestess energy within you to know that this was all part of the journey. They thought that you were just gonna, you know, stay there and accept it. But many of you might have stayed, you might have endured, but when the lesson came to it, the Queen of Swords visited you, gave you the sword, and you were able to cut off communication. And that is what stings the most, because I feel like for a lot of these masculines, they never saw it coming, and now it's triggering stuff like healing family issues, because it all goes back to maybe the way that their parents or what they saw growing up was never solid. It was never... There wasn't any examples around them to show them that this type of love existed with you. So when they experienced it with you, I feel like they didn't know what to do with it. And it really took you walking away and cutting them off, and them having to experience you, seeing them as the stalemate here, someone you want to avoid. There's no chemistry. It's not really worth my time or energy. It's like, whoa. I feel like this divine masculine, it's like just based off of the way they look, how much money they have, it's like they should be anybody's type. You know what I mean? But not with you. You're making this person reflect a lot. We even have the wedding card here coming through. The situation involves marriage. You know what? I'm not getting this between you guys. I'm getting this between something about the way that they have seen marriage or a relationship between two people. It didn't set a good example in it. And from an early on age, like this is a divine masculine that they've never seen like positive love relationships between two people around them in a way that's ever made them feel good about getting married or having a wedding or, you know, doing anything for that matter of a fact that makes it feel like, oh, commitment, you know, that's exciting, commitment. It's like, I feel like they're used to seeing people who, even though they're in a relationship and they're supposed to be valuing commitment, it's like made a complete joke of it, you know. And that's why you trigger your masculine a lot. That's why they come in, it feels really good, but at the same time it feels like an illusion, right? Let's get some more messages on how this masculine is feeling in the heart space here, especially as we have the triggers and the projection coming out. How else are they feeling in their heart space for you, divine feminine? Yeah, that's way too many, but I'll take what's right on top here. Okay, so we have let go of control issues. Okay, so allow the situation to unfold naturally. I feel like let go of control issues could come from this energy that I'm getting of a lot of your masculines watching you, you know, like trying to be close to you, trying to run into you, driving by your area. It's like no amount of watching or even like stalking for some of them, because they are feeling impulsive and they could be really triggered by the distance or some of you cutting them off. You know, I feel like they're being called to let go of this. Like they're being called to have a good look at themselves. And, you know, part of this journey that's so triggering that many of you may not know is that if you're the divine feminine, a lot of the times that your masculines can see the connection with you as toxic is because of the triggers. Like it's like you turn them into a wreck. Like they feel like they're such a wreck. But the point is to be able to heal from that, right? To see the triggers before you and to be able to heal it, to be able to look at it and dissect it. And I feel like that's what is happening with many of them now. You know, like I feel like a major question a lot of your masculines are going to be asking themselves is like, what am I doing with my life right now? Like, what am I doing with my life? Okay, and this is mainly because they can't get anywhere close to you. Okay, they feel like a wreck. They feel messy, like I'm a hot mess right now. That's what I'm getting. Okay, can we get one more card here on what the masculines are meant to learn from this right now? Especially to help confirm letting go of control issues. Okay, I'll wrap up this reading. I'll just take one more card. What are the masculines meant to learn from this? So we have messages, travel, and we have communication. Yeah, I feel like some of your masculines are wanting to come to you with this travel card here, or send you some kind of message, or they may have to rely on this type of energy, like telepathic communication, emotional telepathic communication, because I feel like being near you right now or trying to communicate with you in the physical, it's not going to happen. It's not going down. And maybe that's why they're being called to let go of control issues, because I feel like they may be trying to force it as well. Where again, they are trying to bump into you. They're feeling impulsive. Many of you may recognize this energetically, and you've like, again, ran away from social media. Many of you could be pulling your blinds down at night. It's like you don't want the energy. You can feel it. So many of your masculines, I feel, are having to really relax a little bit, get away. You know, it's like, it's fine if they want to travel towards you in your direction, but they're going to have to rely, I feel, more on like telepathic communication at this time. Some of your masculines may even have to get themselves healthy before they can communicate with you, because I feel, and this message kept coming up in past readings as well, where it's like a lot of you are receiving communication, but they're like drunk or they're high in some way. It's like, you know, liquid courage. Some of these masculines are a hot mess. I feel like these are things that they need to get in order, like clean up shop before coming towards you. And so it's kind of orchestrated in this way right now, where it's like they're longing for communication, but the universe is like, listen, you need to get right first. Like, get yourself right first before even worrying about whether this is done with your divine feminine. Like, you need to get healthy first. All right, guys. So I don't know who this was for, but I hope it found you well. You guys take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next reading, okay? All right. Bye, guys.